Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Atlanta Falcons and the Washington Redskins. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of the stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Washington Redskins. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they interplay here. It's been perfection so far. They come in here unbeaten at 14-0.
And just 2 wins away from doing something only 2 teams have ever done. But the most important thing for them now is to make it to the postseason in one piece.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, they come in off another victory a weekend ago. That ran their win streak up to 7 now.
And I think that win last week established them as Super Bowl frontrunners. They're playing with confidence and swagger, and you need that to go a long way.
Now Newton on first down. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Throw left side complete. That's Swanson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 at a first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They go play action here on first down. And he will find Ridley on the left side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a play fake here on first down. Forced out to his left. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
You know, I don't think this is the last time we'll see that in this game. This guy has mobility, and they want to use his legs in the game plan. So there will be designed runs as well as his scrambles.
To throw on second down is Newton. This will be caught inside the 10. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a second and goal.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against him either.
He's going to get it running right. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Here's Newton. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. Now from the 9, here's second and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Newton now to throw. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field. But defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
And his kick is good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So a nice opening drive on the road. You get the 3 points. Part of you wonders if that might hurt them later not getting into the end zone.
Well, the good thing is, still first quarter, and they did come out of it with points. In a sense, they can look at it positively and say, hey, we set the pace in this one. I think that's how they'll go about it.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And, a little spin cycle. Room to run now. A big run there. 29 yards and a first.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, where they call play side. But how about on the backside? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
Holding offense.
You can see this quite a bit on running plays with the guys out wide. A lot of times, though, it doesn't get caught.
You're exactly right, because it's away from the play usually, so a lot of it goes undetected. But I know this will surprise you. I coach some receivers in the offseason. We work a lot on hand placement and blocking downfield. Might want to take that course.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. To give him 17 yards that time, as that'll move the chains.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
We can talk about bend but don't break all we want, but the defense now, we're going to find out just how flexible and pliable they really are. Can they bounce back after that type of a run, that type of momentum against them, and find a way to slow down this offense?
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Looking to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A gain of 7 that time. Second and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He's going to get it running right. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now from back at the 5, this is 3rd and goal.
Detroit! Hurry up, here we go! Blue 90! Blue 90! Hot!
Now back to throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first run of this game.
So matching field goals on our opening 2 drives.
Yeah, it feels like 2 boxers feeling each other out here in the early going of the game, right? Exchanging some jabs, but none of the heavy stuff just yet.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A very solid gain of 27.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. They take over 1st and 10 following the interception. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super toe.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. They'll set up a throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Falcons say they have it. They do.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now a play fake, and it's Newton. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they throw an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll drop to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Erickson. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A very solid gain of 27.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. They'll look to throw. On the crossing route, complete. That's Gardner. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Give him 30 yards there.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now 1st and goal, expect them to attack right here on this play.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. Now he opts for the spin. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
They get it to him running left. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Ronald Jones, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins are able to strike for 6. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter, but really...
He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
This is taken at about the 14.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They'll give it up to McCaffrey. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards on the play. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
1:58 to go in this first half of play. Back with more after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. This is McCaffrey on the give. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Redskins. A great effort there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
On second down, here's Newton. This one caught by Ridley. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
And his kick is right there. It's good. So we've reached halftime here in D.C. in our nation's capital with a home team, the Redskins, on top. As we'll get you down the coast. Well, who needs a halftime? Am I right? Let's resume play. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Detroit!
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on third down. They'll look to throw here. Throwing right, and that's complete. And give him a gain of 37.
We saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because you usually have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. Shifts by him. And he's taken down inside the 30. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Set! 3-19!
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Watch him now, Barney.
He'll drop to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Sharp there with his feet, gets him a little extra space, and then drop just inside the 20. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
Hurry up, here we go.
He'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Erickson. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. And they keep those sticks moving forward, that time with a gain of 3.
At first glance, I thought he just used his size in order to win the route, but he also had a little subtle move in there as well. Made the defender think he was going one direction and was able to track the ball in another.
Now let's go.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
All right, here we go.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. First target, first catch at a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. He'll look to throw. He sets up the screen to Jones. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go.
Back to throw here. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will get the lead up to 14. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Offensive line wasn't set. There's the flag, and 5 yards back they go.
Quarterback has to look around and make sure that his team is ready to go. Sometimes the quarterbacks go faster than is necessary.
So that'll back him up 5. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. They go play action here on first down. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now, is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. That'll be a gain of 15 yards, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And it's complete. Hooper. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
On 1st and 10, Newton. And he will find his man on the outside. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now a 1st down carry by Bell. Fights him off. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. To throw on 2nd down is Newton. Goes underneath for Bell. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and they're going to face a 3rd down. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the score. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Newton. He's got the 1st down inside the 10. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. And, Charles, this infraction's going to be against the offense, false start.
Sometimes you have to get up to the line of scrimmage, make sure your team is set before you begin your cadence.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Boy, they had it at the 1. The false start moves it to the 6 now for 1st and goal. After the penalty, it's Bell. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. Second and goal, the lone man of the backfield, Le'Veon Bell. Now Newton. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. You got to think this is likely four-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal. A shotgun snap for Newton. Flushed out right. He may try, and he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. Cam Newton taking it in from 11 yards out, and the Falcons draw a bit closer.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. They come out here in the eye. Here's Newton. And that'll be hauled in by the tight end. It's Hooper for the Falcon touchdown. Austin Hooper with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Falcons have cut it to within a score. And it's up and good. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Washington offense as we get a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And the final 2 weeks, just like a formality pretty much, they're going to be the number 1 seed. But there is the matter of that perfect record, 14-0 right now. How might that change how they approach these next 2 games?
And I think what it does is it forces you to come together as a team and as an organization and say, okay, what are we really trying to accomplish here? And what's the best way to reach those goals? For some teams, the best way is to stay focused, stay locked in, go for a perfect season, and then take that open week to rest and heal up before the playoffs begin. For others, okay, we've got it locked in. Let's start to tamp it down a little bit. Get these guys rested and ready to go. All depends on your organization. I think most players would tell you, let's go for the perfect 16-0.
Yeah, I think the fan base, they would usually say that as well, wouldn't they?
They certainly would. The hard part, though, is if you get beat along the way, we should have rested the guys.
Exactly.
You know how it works.
7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw now on 1st down. A dump underneath to Jones. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. Leopard!
They'll pitch it out to Jones. Finding room inside the 40. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Ronald Jones, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll make it a 2nd down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get 1 more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Flush to his right. Oh, another great move. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him, and he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
Now a play fake here on first down. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Offense.
And that'll set him back 5. A full start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. Here's Newton. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pick up there of 20 yards. They were in zone defensively, went with a crossing route. It's always interesting to watch that chess match.
Yeah, and I think safeties don't mind crossing routes against zone because eventually you're going to run into their territory.
And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, it took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. They get it to him running left. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play. You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they try to punch in a late touchdown. Out of the gun, Newton. And he's got his man on the out route. They are able to get 9 yards out of that, but now it's 4th down.
Completed pass brings up a 4th down situation. Do you play analytics on this one? Well, what do your analytics tell you about going for it here? I wonder what they would say.
They tell me you're down by this margin, 4th quarter, you're going. Desperation time. Newton, 4th down. And that'll be hauled in by the tight end. It's Hooper for the Falcon touchdown. Austin Hooper with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season.
After review of the play,
still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Important extra point up and through. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Here's Bosher to kick it away. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Pitching it out to McCaffrey. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. And the Falcons going to use another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. 2nd and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. That one looks like he'll throw here. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down.
Detroit! Detroit! Set! Green 39! Green 39! Hot!
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. A great play there. His 25th touchdown. Tying him at Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now it's Newton. He's going to let it fly. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against him offensively. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Newton. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
180.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned the block, find the spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. The clock cannot be stopped here. Defense can't do anything. So kneel it down, take it home.
No doubt about it. It's what you practice for in winning situations each and every week. Victory formation. Take a knee and go on.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. In for the score. And the Redskins capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Tucker now to add the point after. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, Coach, what do you want to call? He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And he'll indeed get him to the line and spike it here to stop the clock. And they're not able to complete it. Now just 6 seconds remain. Time for one, maybe 2 more plays. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Washington, they're now a win away from a perfect regular season as they move to 15-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Falcons,